Alright, sorry about that. I bumped my mouse, so we're going to continue on here, okay? Again, Earth is always going to be in your system if you are on or near the surface of Earth or even near the planet of Earth. We'll talk about universal gravitation in a few weeks. Okay, we're going to draw a force diagram for the person. So over here, before we can draw that force diagram, we have to look at what interactions are going on. So the person is standing on the ground. So the person pushes down on the ground, but the ground pushes back up on the person. So you notice this when you did the normal force and you pushed down on the desk, and the desk pushed back up on you. All right, the Earth pulls down on the person through gravity. And you, or the person, actually pulls back on the Earth. But the Earth doesn't feel a very big force because it has a lot of mass compared to the person. The person feels a larger force because he's got very small mass compared to the mass of the Earth. And last but not least, the Earth pulls on the ground and the ground pulls back on the Earth. Alright, then we're going to draw a circle around the object that we are drawing the force diagram for. So in this case, it's going to be the person. Well, that dotted line shows us that I have 2 interactions with the person. So I should have 2 forces on my force diagram. So your force diagram, you're either going to do a dot or a box. And the dot or the box represents the object that you're drawing the force diagram for. Okay, I do not have a preference whether you want to do the box or you want to do the dot. Most of the examples I do will be with the dot, but if it's easier for you with the box, again, it doesn't matter. It's whatever works best for you. Okay, so we said that the person has 2 interactions here, so there should be 2 forces on our force diagram. If we imagine the surface of the Earth in here, the direction of our gravitational force is straight down towards the center of the Earth. So on my dot or my box representing the person, I'm going to draw a force straight down. I label the force as a gravitational force on the person being the feeler, by the Earth being the dealer. So we're going to talk about the feeler. The feeler is the who the force diagram is for. The dealer is the provider of the force. So in the case of the gravitational force, that is the Earth. Alright, but the person also has this interaction with the ground. That's that support force, or what we call the normal force. So anytime you have a solid surface, you have this normal force. So we could label that as a supporting force. That's the other way that I like to describe it. So the person has a normal force acting on them going straight up. And again, that's on the person. So on the feeler by the ground or by the dealer. And if we're using the box, we're going to do the same thing. Normal force on the person by the ground. Alright, I will do a couple of example problems from your practice packet in a separate video. That is all of our notes for now. Our lesson next time will be the steps to solving force problems, and we will pick it up and continue on. But right now we're just going to practice drawing these force diagrams because it's going to be really important to be accurate with those before we can start solving for forces using equations. Alright, if you have any questions, let me know.